in the National League Central. They'll face the Giants' best in Madison Bumgarner tonight. Bumgarner a career 7-2 against the Brew Crew as the Giants hope to get back on track behind their ace. Game 2 of the series next. Tonight, an Orange Friday in San Francisco. The big crowd expected. It's the Giants and the Brewers, Game 2 of their 4-game series. Hello, everyone. I'm John Miller with Mike Krukow and Amy Gutierrez. Welcome to Giants Baseball. For the Giants, another loss in the late innings last night. Their last 7 losses, 6 of them have occurred from the 7th inning or later in games where they were tied or even leading. So hard times for the Giants. Madison Bumgarner will try and get that turned around, but he's facing a Milwaukee lineup that, as they showed last night, it has some thunder.
Well, they've got thunder and they've got lightning. This is the team that leads the National League in stolen bases. Their skipper, Craig Counsell, very aggressive. You'll see a lot of hit and run plays. They'll move runners. They've got a lot of speed. They try to take advantage of it. Their big bopper is Jesus Aguilar, the all-star first baseman with 25 homers and 72 RBIs. He leads the way. And for Chase Anderson, the right-hander that the Brewers will throw against the Giants, watch the matchup with Buster Posey. Posey lifetime against Anderson, .417 average. So it ought to be an offensive night.
All right, so the Giants trying to get it going. They're down to 500. And as Bruce Bochy said before the game, it's time to get hot. Stay tuned. And we'll be taking you to our NBC Sports Bay Area studios for an update right after these messages.
And the Brewers, and hoping that the Giants bullpen will get better. The last 4 games, they have struggled, and they have struggled a lot. 1-3, 11 innings, a 5.73 ERA. All this bullpen stuff has not been good. Sean, your thoughts on the recent struggles and how it could get better?
Well, I mean, this has been one of the better bullpens in the big leagues all year long. And you see across the league right now, even if the bullpen is a strength, teams are going out and getting big arms down at the end of their bullpen to improve their bullpen. So as this being a strength for the Giants, yes, all year long. Have they had some hiccups after the break? Yes. But the personnel's still there. The stuff's still there. I expect this bullpen to get better moving forward. It has to be if they have a chance to win the West this year or even be in the wild card picture.
People have talked about Mark Melanson's struggles. On the flip side, someone who's been playing very well, Reyes Morante. Would you think about pitching him later in the game?
Rookie Reyes Morante, too. I mean, which has been, as of late, you talked about all the struggles. He's the one guy that has been a bright spot since the break. Reyes Morante with the combination 98s, wipeout slider. I expect to see him pitch later in the game. Right now, he's been used more of a 6th, 7th inning guy to clean up some messes from the starters, come in and get a strikeout. But if he continues to pitch like this, I see him getting more high leverage situations later on in the game, possibly even the 8th inning setup situation.
How about a 9th inning closer situation? I think maybe one day.
One day, I think that's where he's heading.
Real quickly, your keys to the game.
Well, as always, when Madison Bumgarner pitches, he is the key to the game, but more significance tonight just because this team needs to win right now. He's their ace. He's coming off probably one of his worst starts of his career, only going 4 innings in his last start, walking 6. Typically, he rebounds from starts like that. I expect him to be really good tonight. He will be the key.
All right. Thank you, Sean. We will go back to the ballpark right after this.
For Game 2 of this 4-game series with the Milwaukee Brewers, I have some very good news. Madison Bumgarner is on the hill. Welcome back to our broadcast, everybody. I'm Amy Gutierrez. Madison looking to notch win number 4 on the season. If he does so and gets the W, that is career win number 108. But do you remember career win number 1? We do, and we're going to show it to you. It is our Jeep Play. It's brought to you by the new 2019 Jeep Cherokee, July 6, 2010, against these very Brewers in Milwaukee. Madison lost logged 8 innings. He gave up no runs. He walked 3. He punched out 5, all on 115 pitches. He also picked up his first of many RBI. A win tonight for Madison that ties him with, you got it, Timmy Lincecum on the all-time San Francisco win list. It's going to be a good one. The Giants need him to be a stopper this evening as they hand the ball over to Madison Bumgarner. We've got lineups. We've got first pitch. It's John and Mike tonight with the call. Stay with us.
And the marine layer is hovering close overhead. Now the Milwaukee Brewers batting order. It'll be Keon Broxton center field, Christian Yelich in right, Jesus Aguilar first base. Ryan Braun hits cleanup. Got 312 career home runs, 2 of them against Bumgarner. He's got the most home runs in Brewers history. Tyler Saladino third base, Hernan Perez second base, Manny Pena the catcher hitting 7th, Orlando Arcia shortstop, Chase Anderson the pitcher batting 9th.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be Madison Bumgarner. Bumgarner, his 9th year at the big league level, 28 years of age, 6'4", 250-pounder out of Hickory, North Carolina. This is what he has done in 9 starts, 3-3 with a 3.19 ERA. 53 2/3 innings, 46 strikeouts against 23 walks. You say, well, how does he do it? Well, it's with a fastball from a low 3/4 delivery, slight crossover step, good deception in the delivery. And you're going to get a fastball with a natural cut that runs into righties away from lefties. It'll be a low 90s velocity. It's also got a curveball, slider, and a changeup. Lifetime numbers against the Brewers, 7-2 with a 2.25 ERA. Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Madison Bumgarner tonight, starting in the outfield from left to right. It'll be Hernandez, Duggar, and McCutcheon. Good arms across the board. Crawford, Longoria on the left side of the infield. Hanson, Sandoval on the right side. And Buster Posey, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
And Bumgarner coming back from that very ragged start against the Athletics, where he walked more than he had ever walked in a single game in his career. He pitched 4+ innings and walked 6, including 4 in the 5th inning, in which he never recorded an out. So here is Keon Broxton to lead off. Lorenzo Cain got banged up last night in this game. Finally left the game late.
Yeah, a couple times. One stealing or going into second base where he rolled over his right wrist and really had a hard time shaking that off. Then he tweaked his left knee in a swing in the batter's box. So a night off for Cain.
Broxton, a fast runner, excellent center fielder. And that is in there for a called strike. Sam Holbrook is the home plate umpire. He is also the crew chief for this umpiring crew. And he's off the inside with that one.
Well, Sam Holbrook, I think, is an umpire that looks for strikes. You'll see a few more higher strikes called with his zone, more so than you see the low strike at times. But basically, he looks for strikes.
And that one out over the plate, but a swinging strike 2.
Rest of the umpires tonight: Ryan Blakely at first, Jim Wolf at second, and DJ Rayburn will be at third.
Two and two now.
Ballpark is cool tonight. We've seen cool nights the last couple since the Giants have returned off of the road. As usual, the normal carry is to center field with a little carry to left center. Not much help to right field.
And that is strike 3 called on the inside, and he threw all fastballs.
Boy, and Broxton knew it. I mean, we are in an era where you see a lot of guessing in 2-strike situations. And here, Broxton just absolutely frozen on an inside corner fastball. And perhaps looking for something off speed, maybe a breaking ball. But that's one he'll think about for a while. Pow, grab some pine meat.
Now Christian Yelich comes up, the former Marlin. Hit a home run here last night, and that is a shot into left center field. That's into the gap. Duggar cuts it off, but Yelich, who has excellent speed, will beat his throw into second base. A double.
One of the best swings for a tall man I think I've ever seen. Uses the whole field. I mean, he just keeps getting better every year. Foot gets down. His elevation on the pitch right out there at the bell, out over the plate away. And like we see him do so often, he'll take that outside pitch and he'll go the other way. And look at the balance in that swing. His body right between the feet. Beautiful balance and the weight distribution from that back foot to the front. Great, great swing.
So here is the all-star Jesus Aguilar, who has hit 25 home runs this year. And that is in there, 92 miles an hour for a called strike. Aguilar has never faced Bumgarner in a big league game, as he talks that over with Sam Holbrook, that first pitch call.
Well, this guy's a legitimate slugger, and you watch his swing, you can see why he's successful. Head stays down very consistently through the ball. A lot of power.
Began the day tied for the league lead in home runs. And the breaking ball down and in, 1 ball and 1 strike. Nolan Arenado of the Rockies, Bryce Harper of Washington, Matt Carpenter of the Cardinals, and Jesus Aguilar, all with 25 home runs at the top of the league.
I mean, he's a big fella. I mean, he's 6'3", 300 pounds. But, you know, guys who get up around 300 pounds, normally you see them with slow hips. Not so with him. Very quick hip for a big guy.
Curveball almost hits him. And it's 2-1. Aguilar is from Maracay, Venezuela. Originally signed by the Cleveland Indians. And after 10 years in the Cleveland organization, including some time in the big leagues, the Brewers claimed him on waivers before the start of last year. 2-2. That's a pretty good acquisition for the Brewers.
Yeah, I say that one worked out well for him.
He really never got that much action with the Cleveland Indians. Never more than 33 at bats in any big league season. But last year in Milwaukee as a platoon player, hit 16 home runs at only 279 at bats. And this year he's getting a lot more at bats. One out, Yelich at second, 2-2 the count, and the spin move. Yelich goes back.
Man, he was a 272 minor league hitter and had the one big year where he hit 30 in AAA, 30 home runs. So he kind of got his power late, like a lot of guys will do.
That is right along the third base line. Longoria, long throw. 2 down. Yelich moving to third base.
If you're playing on the left side of the infield with Madison Bumgarner, you're going to get some action, especially from a big power hitter like Aguilar. And this is a nice play. Good first step. And with Longoria, he knew he had time to set himself with Aguilar. He doesn't have great speed. But this is where the play is made. To the backhand, set. Had a little distraction too with Yelich going right in front of him as he unloaded towards first. Nice play.
Here's Ryan Braun, the veteran. Braun has hit a couple of home runs in his career against Bumgarner in 29 at bats. Curveball, that's a foul. I saw a note today, Mike. Bumgarner is throwing that curveball more than any time in his career. He's throwing the curveball 20% of the time, and he's having great success with it.
Well, I mean, we used to see him throw a curveball 2, maybe 3 times a game. But now it's become a really nice weapon. He believes in it, and he's confident to throw it in any count.
Throws the curve again, dug out of the dirt. And the batting average against Bumgarner when the at bat ends in a curveball is only .045. 2 hits in 44 at bats. So he's throwing it more often and having better success than at any time in his career with the curve. That is right to Hansen. Man, Ryan Braun hit a shot. Inning over. Duggar, Hansen, McCutchen coming up for the Giants. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Steven Duggar, who's had 5 hits and 11 at bats in his last 3 games, leads off center field. Alan Hansen at second. McCutchen in right field. Buster Posey catching. Brandon Crawford hits 5th at shortstop. Evan Longoria had 2 hits in his first game back from the DL last night. Third base. Pablo Sandoval at first. Gorkis Hernandez hits 8th in left field. Madison Bumgarner, the pitcher, Bumgarner is due to not just get some hits. He hadn't had many, but maybe to hit a long one.
Well, maybe it'll happen tonight. He'll try and do it against this guy, Chase Anderson, making his 21st start on the year. It's 6-7 with a 3.81 ERA. Anderson, in his 5th year at the big league level, he's 30 years of age, 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, from Wichita Falls, Texas. And when you take your bats against him, you're going to see a 4-pitch pitcher, and he's a guy that pitches to contact. He's not going to blow you away with a lot of speed, although he'll hit mid-90s at times, but he's normally a low 90s guy. He'll sink and cut it. Curveball, slider, and a very good changeup.
Called strike one.
Against the Giants' lifetime in 5 starts, Chase Anderson 2-2 with a 5.68 ERA.
One ball, one strike. Steven Duggar, who has had 49 at bats in the big leagues with 14 hits this year, 6 doubles. And he changed up. 1-2.
And that is the changeup. And if you were to ask scouts about Anderson, what type of pitcher he is, they'll tell you he pitches to contact. And all he's trying to do is upset the timing of your at bat. He wants you to put it in play. He just doesn't want you to put it in play with hard contact. And he feels he can control that.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Anderson, 6 wins, 7 losses for the year. But he's been fairly tough to hit. He has given up a lot of home runs, Mike. 19 homers allowed in 108 2/3 innings. Changeup struck him out.
Let's take a look at the Brewers defensively. Behind Chase Anderson, it's going to be Braun, Broxton, and Yelich. That's your outfield, the best arm in center field. Arcia, Saladino, that's the left side of the infield. Perez and Aguilar on the right side. Manny Pena, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Alan Hansen, 276 average. Off balance, pops it up, and Aguilar out number 2. So Hansen was not up there very long. So here comes Andrew McCutchen. McCutchen is hitting .257, 10 home runs, 43 driven in. And that's in there for a called strike. McCutchen, of course, in all his years with the Pirates, played in the same division as the Brewers. As you see, he's got his orange shoes on tonight. The ground ball to the right side and right to Aguilar, who was the only man on that side. That is a very quick inning for Anderson. 8 pitches and out. Bumgarner quickly back to the mound.
Audi. Visit a Bay Area Audi today and get behind the wheel of the Audi model you've always wanted. Last night, Derek Rodriguez, again, outstanding. 6 solid innings, 5 hits allowed, 5 strikeouts, just 2 earned runs. And for Derek Rodriguez, 9 starts that he has made, 7 of those starts he has allowed 2 runs or less. Having a great rookie season. That's our Audi control play.
Here's Tyler Saladino, and he takes a called strike. Rodriguez, who just does not comport himself the way a fairly raw rookie would comport himself. That's on the outside corner. Strike 2 call.
Well, it really is a testimony as to how Derek Rodriguez has been raised around the game. Talking baseball a lot with his father, because he doesn't, as John said, act like a rookie. Acts like he's been here for 10 years.
Right to Hansen. And he throws out Saladino. So 1 away here in the second, and we're going to check in now with our colleague Amy G.
All right, gentlemen, Bruce Bochy will not be here Sunday to manage the game. That's because he's headed to Cooperstown to celebrate Trevor Hoffman's induction into the Hall of Fame. Trevor, of course, was Bochy's closer with the Padres from '95 to 2007. I talked to Bruce today, and he said the Giants have been very supportive of his wishes to be there for Trevor. Trevor means so much to Bruce Bochy, guys. He said Trevor had a huge impact on his managing career, but also on his life because of baseball and because of their friendship. Trevor is like family. He added that he's extremely deserving of the Hall. The numbers speak for themselves, but it was the intangibles that Trevor brought to the game that make him Hall of Fame worthy. Gentlemen?
Amy G, thank you. Indeed. Bruce Bochy, who, when the Giants won Tuesday in Seattle, tied Hall of Famer Casey Stengel on the all-time list of wins by managers. Tied for 11th. Leo DeRocher next up on that list. So Boch may one day be headed to Cooperstown with all of those other managers, and maybe Trevor Hoffman will be saying, oh, I got to go to Cooperstown for my old skipper.
He'll be there because Bruce Bochy's going to the Hall of Fame.
1-2 to Hernan Perez. Crawford, tough hop, plays it cleanly, then hurries the throw just in time. 2 down. Trevor Hoffman, it's easy to forget, actually finished his career as a member of the Brewers. And in this game in 2010, he got his 600th career save at Miller Park. Trevor Hoffman. And maybe there have been other pitchers who had as good a changeup as Trevor Hoffman, but I don't know that anybody ever had as famous a changeup as Trevor Hoffman, because there was really nobody could ever figure it out. He was kind of a freak of nature in that regard. He threw it and nobody ever saw it coming, even though they knew that he would throw it and throw it a lot.
He could tell you it was coming, and still hard to hit. High leg kick, a lot of deception. When he first got to the big leagues, when we first saw him with the Miami Marlins, then it was the Florida Marlins, I mean, he threw hard. Remember, he was a guy that hit Robbie Thompson in the face back in 1993, and it was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball he got him with.
1-1 to Horacio Pena. Pena hits a high pop-up up in the wind, and look out, Hansen stays with it. 3 up, 3 down. Quick inning for Bumgarner. Buster Posey coming up. in the world in giants of land and sea. A new exhibit at the California Academy of Sciences. Buy tickets at calacademy.org. So I don't know if there's a regatta going on. Usually Friday night we had the beer can regatta from the South Beach Marina. But I don't see a bunch of sailboats out there. We just see this one.
Well, that looks like the New Zealand America's Cup team out there.
Oh, there's another one. Yeah, maybe there is. Maybe we got the regatta going tonight. Here's Buster Posey against Chase Anderson. Buster hitting .283. 1 ball and no strikes. Buster 5 hits and 12 career at bats against Anderson. A .417 average. .360 on base percentage for the season. Just off the outside. 2-0.
The thing you like about Sam Holbrook, the plate umpire, is it's a pretty steady zone. What gets called a strike and a ball in the first inning, it's the same all the way through the ninth.
2-1.
And consistency, that's the reputation you want if you're an umpire. And that is his reputation.
Just off the outside. 3-1. Crawford is on deck, and then Longoria. And Buster, he may have swung at ball 4 there. Ball in under the hands off the inside. 3-2.
You know what though, he looks in a lot, especially in counts where he's got count leverage. 2-0, 3-1. And if you're looking in and you get one in, even if it's off the plate in, you'll oftentimes get after it.
That's down the right field line. It is a fair ball into the first archway. Buster digging for second as Yelich comes up throwing. Not in time. It's a double for Posey.
And they set the outside target. This goes up and in, and Posey stays inside it. Head stays down. Good use of his lower body, and that's the key. Being able to use his legs in his swing. And that's drive to the right side. That's a good bat. Good at bat. Watch his footing around first base. Looked like he had a little slippery up. Got a little out of stride there. Can happen when you're watching the ball, not the bag.
Leadoff double for Posey. And now Brandon Crawford. 0-1.
One more look at a little slippage. Kind of got out of stride. He was thinking double. Giants will challenge the corner outfielders of the Brewers.
Crawford 286. He had 2 hits here last night. That's into right center field. Into the gap. Cut off by Broxton. Crawford for second. The throw cut off as Posey comes round to score. 1-0 Giants. Posey and Crawford hit doubles 2 in a row to start the inning.
Well, this is what the Giants have been waiting for, the middle of their lineup to get hot. Another mistake up from Anderson. And right there to take advantage of it, Crawford, really a good use of his hands through that swing. They gave him the right center field gap. He splits it, gets himself an RBI, and puts himself in scoring position.
Now Longoria, and this is the first time Longoria has ever faced Chase Anderson in a regular season game. 250, 10 homers, 34 batted in, and swung the bat pretty well last night, his first game back.
Yeah, 2-hit night. Beat some good pitches too.
Back to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Longoria, who's always been such a durable player in his career, and it could not have been easy all of a sudden being on the shelf with the injury. And he got back fairly quickly. That's into right center. Tagging up in second, Crawford. That's Yelich. He's got a strong arm. Crawford's going to test him. The throw comes into the second baseman Perez, and he does not relay it.
So a productive out. They get Crawford over to third. I mean, that's why you never bunt a big guy with home run power, simply because he can hit a fly ball. It's as effective as a bunt. Productive out, and that'll bring the Brewers infield in against Sandoval.
So Pablo trying to get that runner home from third with less than 2 outs. He doesn't necessarily need a hit to do it. And a nice save by Pena on a would-be wild pitch.
I could almost hit him in the back foot.
251, 9 home runs for Pablo. And this is his strong side, hitting .285 as a left-handed hitter.
I like that call. Yeah, guys with good curveballs, it's a good thing to call back-to-back breakup balls. If he misses with the first one, call it again. Let him zero it in to the strike zone. Now it becomes an asset. Now he knows he can throw it for a strike.
Well, that will not get him home, as Pablo grounds out to the second baseman, who was pulled in. So 2 down, and they'll back up now to normal depth for Gorkis Hernandez.
Such a frustrating at bat for a hitter. Get up there and they got that infield pulled in. You got a runner at third, less than 2 outs. You're already putting that in your RBI column. And when you don't get it, that is a very dejected walk back to the dugout.
Very frustrated.
It'll make you talk to yourself.
Gorkis Hernandez, Bumgarner on deck. 1 ball to no strikes. Gorkis hitting .270. He got 11 home runs. And since the All-Star break, though, he's had a hard time getting hits. Only 4 hits in his last 21 at bats. And that is a foul well down the right field line. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Nice play. She had it the whole time. And she finds a kid. Gamer babe. I love our fans.
That goes foul. Crawford off and running at the crack of the bat with 2 down. He'll have to go back to third.
Our third base ball dude got some action. Matt McCormick. Why is that a significant name to remember? Well, he's the son of Mike McCormick, former Giants Cy Young Award winner. And there's his older son, Mike McCormick Jr. over there at first base.
So, and both of them righties.
Mike McCormick, the pitcher for the Giants, a lefty.
That's hit well. Broxton going back into the big part of the yard and gets there. So the Giants get the 1 to take the lead. Posey doubles, and then Crawford doubled him home. 1-0 Giants. will kick off an historic weekend honoring Barry Bonds. And on that Friday, August the 10th, there's a special event package which would cause you to receive a statuette commemorating Barry's 35 splash hits and the rubber chicken walk counter. And on Saturday, the 11th, Barry Bonds, number 25, will be permanently retired during a pregame ceremony, which is going to be awfully special. We're being assured. Come out early to pay tribute. Barry Bonds' retirement ceremony, the retirement of his number 25. The ceremony will start at 5 o'clock on the 11th. Visit sfgiants.com for tickets. 1-0 Giants. Orlando Arcia to lead off the inning and has a count of 1 ball and 1 strike now, facing Bumgarner.
I like it. They show the splash hits meter, 78, 35 of those by Barry Bonds, I think,
including the first by a Giant. Arcia with a foul back to the backstop. 1 ball, 2 strikes with the pitcher Anderson on deck, and then the leadoff man Broxton due up third in the inning. I remember at the World Series parade, I think it was 2014, Barry was in the parade. Giants invited some of their greats from years past to ride in the parade as well. There's a foul that comes back and out of play. 1-2. And Barry, we were all kind of gathering out near the parking lot behind the left field stands. And Barry, looking at the ballpark, said, I feel like I got the ballpark built, but these guys here, they learned how to win in this ballpark. Crawford, in a hurry, throws out Arcia, who moves pretty well. And there's 1 away.
Well, you really can't argue with him. I mean, Bonds came over to the Giants in 1993, and that was the year when the Giants had 1 foot out the door to Tampa. I mean, that's hard to fathom. In Regal, the group of investors, they rallied, they kept the group here, the team here. They brought Barry Bonds in, and they got something done that we didn't think could get done. They got a new ballpark built. And Bonds, if he doesn't come here, I don't know if it gets done.
Well, the way they did it, which they basically built it themselves. There's a foul off the right field side and back out of play. Plus Giants fans were part of that as they purchased what were called charter seats, the rights to buy the tickets. That was a very large part of building this ballpark. That curve hit very softly. Crawford. It hit the lip of the grass and became a roller at that point, but he stayed with it. And Anderson is retired. Anderson really hustling up the line there. 2 down.
Kind of a spinal cracker for Brandon Crawford as this ball comes to him. I mean, he hits and becomes a little grass cutter. Look how low he's got to go to get this. I mean, that's right on the ground. I mean, the toughness of that play is when you're coming in and you're charging it, you've got to get that low. Hence the spinal cracker.
Is that common terminology in baseball?
Well, I mean, we didn't really start calling it a spinal cracker until
a minute ago.
The song "Come Together" came. You know, it's spinal cracker. I mean, that's one of the lyrics.
From the Beatles?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a bloop. Now he's got great speed, and he's going to go for second behind the bullpen mound, McCutchen, and he's got the double easily.
Talk about Lorenzo Cain in last night's ball game. He dives into second and he rolls his right wrist, and he really got up shaking the wrist, and it bothered him. He stayed in the game, and then later on in the game, taking a swing, he tweaks his left knee. So a couple of little issues he's dealing with today. It's an off day, no surprise to all of us. He actually had to leave the game late in last night's ball game.
So here is Yelich. First ball swinging, he hit a double into the gap in left center in the first inning, which had been the only Brewers hit until this bloop. There's Lorenzo Cain, whom we remember well from the 2014 World Series as a Kansas City Royal. Lorenzo, hey, good to see you. Great World Series. The Royals, they lost that World Series, of course, in Game 7. Bumgarner pitched 5 innings in relief in that game. But the next year, the Royals went back to the World Series, and in 2015, they won it. Giants, 2014, winning the World Series for the 3rd time in 5 years. Yelich. A 2-0 count. Bumgarner throwing the breaking ball, a cutter, and got the ground out. One man stranded, 1-0 Giants. Bumgarner is coming up. Go places. It was this day, July 27th, 40 years ago, 1978, in Game 2 of a doubleheader at Yankee Stadium, that Dwayne Kuiper became the first player in American League history to hit 2 bases-loaded triples in the same game. Bob Kammeyer, a right-hander, was on the mound. He hit one in the 1st inning and then another in the 5th inning. And Cleveland beat the Yankees 17-5. And that was a great Yankee team. They won the World Series later that year. But that day belonged to Dwayne Kuiper, who just took over Yankee Stadium. Happy anniversary, Kuiper. Madison Bumgarner with an 0-2 count very quickly.
Well, Kuiper was built for triples. He had good speed.
Did he swing? No, I don't think so. And neither did Blakeney, the first base umpire.
But what Kuiper remembers about one of those triples is it was high off the wall. He wanted it to go over the wall.
Would have been a grand slam.
Yeah.
And the high fastball for the strikeout.
Second strikeout for Chase Anderson. That elevated fastball. You saw him with 2 strikes put on 93 miles an hour. That's been his best velocity fastball.
Now Steven Duggar, he was the other strikeout victim back in the 1st inning. Well, Kuiper, if he had hit that grand slam, he'd be the guy who had just only 1 home run other than a grand slam.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would still would have been a pretty good title to have. That is out number 2 as Arcia throws out Duggar, 2 down.
Well, if you need help with a consumer problem, you can contact NBC Bay Area Responds or Telemundo 48 Responde. They've covered more than $1.5 billion for Bay Area consumers, and you can call 1-888-996-TIPS or visit NBCBayArea.com/response. Whether in English or Spanish, they respond to every call, every email. NBC Bay Area, we investigate.
Alan Hansen popped up to first his first time. Strike 1. 1-0. The Giants ahead, 3rd inning. Andrew McCutchen is on deck. And that drops in there neatly for a called strike 2. Tomorrow's game is 6:05 start. Johnny Cueto versus Yolis Chassin. And then the day game on Sunday. Little bloop along the left field line. It is a fair ball. Hanson with great speed. And he has a double. And nobody's at third base. Although suddenly half the team was racing for third base for the Brewers.
Well, including the plate umpire. When a third base umpire goes out to the outfield to follow a play and vacates his base, the home plate umpire, it's his job to be in position at third base to make a call. The first base umpire then has to come down to home plate. It's great. You always talk about how players shift and rotate. Well, umpires same way. For a second, Hanson thought, well, maybe I could get over there and get an extra 90 feet.
So here's McCutchen now. Base hit. Could mean a run. A base hit to the outfield. Coming back. That was not hit very hard. And Perez throws out Andrew McCutchen. So one man stranded. 1-0 Giants. On to the 4th.
Great hair of the game. Great Clips want you to love your haircut. That's why they created Clip Notes. Notes that tell them what you like. So when you get your same haircut, you get your same haircut every time, anywhere. Great Clips, it's going to be great.
Giants 1, Brewers none as we head to the 4th inning. And the power comes up here for the Brewers. Aguilar, then Braun, Saladino due up 3rd in the inning. Some of the Brewers' power not in the lineup with Bumgarner going, including Travis Shaw, who had a home run last night. Eric Thames, the Bay Area native, has got enormous power. Aguilar grounded out to 3rd his first time. And 0-1.
Good changeup.
Right field. That ball is carrying well, but at the edge of the warning track. McCutchen's got it.
Not an easy play tonight. If you're in the outfield, a lot of wind, a lot of swirling wind, pop-ups and high fly balls. They will definitely pose a bit of a problem.
That just looked like a high lazy fly, but it got out there pretty well.
Well, it just gives you an idea of his power. I don't know what percentage of the ball he got there, but it wasn't the whole thing. Not even close. He's just a big, strong fella.
Here's Ryan Braun. Braun hit a shot, but right to the second baseman Hanson for an out in the 1st inning, so he's 0 for 1. On the outside corner, strike one called. Ryan Braun has been one of the outstanding power hitters in the league for many years. He's had as many as 41 home runs in a season. That was 6 years ago. And it's low. He's had 33, 37, 32, 30. So he's been very productive. He's had some injury problems. Last year spent 2 different stints on the disabled list, once for a month.
Well, he's played a lot of innings, a lot of games.
He also had, back in 2013, suspended for the remainder of that season for violations of the basic agreement and its joint drug prevention and treatment program. As he hits a foul to the ball, dude. Mike McCormick's son. That's just the way Mike taught him to do that.
Yep, and make a new friend. And there's his brother, Matt McCormick, cheering his brother on. I like that.
Wow. Caught by Longoria. Man, that was a laser beam on a ball that almost, I thought it was going to bounce before he hit it. And that's got him shaking his head, because Longoria, with the quick reactions.
You got to be quick to get that one. You don't have a whole lot of time. It's just one step and just spear and hope you have enough glove to get to the ball. And he used every bit of that web to snag it. And Braun just got robbed.
Here's Tyler Saladino, former White Sox player. Called a strike. That ball off the bat of Ryan Braun, according to StatCast, 103 miles per hour. Saladino grounded out to second, his first time. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, that pitch that Braun hit, I mean, that was not a hanger. He went down and got that thing. To pull the location that he got, I mean, that's impressive.
And the curveball in there at the knees. Strike 2.
Both pitchers working a good rhythm, feeding off each other. Don't have to spend a lot of time on the bench. One of the big things about being a starting pitcher is you get sit down, you get up, you sit down, you get up. It always seems like guys have good nights when the other guy they're facing has good nights too. They feed off each other's rhythm.
And that is all for Saladino. Bumgarner retires the side in order. That's his second strikeout. Designed for the grind and comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer for a great deal on a dependable new ride. Toyota, let's go places. There's a Toyota right here at the ballpark. Buster Posey leads off. The curveball in the dirt. Ball one from Chase Anderson. Buster doubled into the right field corner starting off the second inning, and then promptly was driven home on a double by Brandon Crawford, who followed. Brandon is on deck here. 1-0 Giants, fourth inning. A ball and a strike. The Dodgers won their game in Atlanta 4-1 back of Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw got his fourth win of the year, beating Fultonevich.
That's a duel of aces there.
And Kershaw knocked in a couple of runs. 2-run single in the fourth inning of that game. Right center, Yelich eases over. And that started to sail on him a little bit, but he caught it. One away. Not this time for Buster. Washington beat Miami 9-1. Max Scherzer got his 14th win. And the young guy, the 19-year-old Juan Soto, hit his 13th home run. He's 19 years old. He's hitting over 300, hitting home run. Apparently he hit a second deck shot there at Marlins Park.
That's a good poke.
Reds beat the Phillies in Cincinnati. And Eugenio Suarez hit his 24th home run. That guy is having a fabulous year.
He really has. MVP for the Reds. You know, baseball has so many obscure stats, little tidbits of information. In regards to Soto, they said he's 19 years old. He got intentionally walked twice in a game this last week. First time that's happened since Robin Yount. Happened to him when he was 19 with the Brewers. I don't know why that impressed me or why I remembered it, but I'm thinking 19 getting a couple of intentional walks in the big leagues. That is kind of unique.
I saw a note and it kind of had me scratching my head a little bit, but it was about Soto. 1-1 to Crawford. And a pop-up. Saladino in foul ground. Two down.
Well, hello, Kitty fans. You can come see the Brewers this Sunday. That's right, 2 days away. Sunday, the first 20,000 fans are going to receive a Hello Kitty cap. That's Giants taking on the Brewers. Hello Kitty Day. This Sunday, 1:05 starts. You can buy directly from the Giants at sfgiants.com.
Hello, Kitty.
It never gets old.
Hello, Kitty. Longoria, ball one outside. But I saw a note where Soto hit a home run and was walked intentionally. First time any 19-year-old ever had that combination in one game. And then I thought, that's interesting. Although, how many 19-year-olds have ever even played in the big leagues? It's kind of a short list. Two and one. I actually had dinner with Robin Yount during spring training, and we got to talking, and I told him the first game I ever broadcast was a spring training game with the Brewers and the A's, and he played in it in 1974. And the more we talked about it, the more Robin thought, I think that was the first game I ever played. And I said, well, I'm going with that story. And I'm going that you confirmed it. That's out of play off to the right. 3-2 now to Longoria. Right-handed hitter with power. He flied out to right center his first time, and a souvenir for a Gigantes fan.
Oh yeah, we got a man making a play.
Could be on the Instagram here in a moment. And a foul ball. Robin Yount was 18 years old when he broke into the big leagues. The Brewers were a team that had been an expansion team, the Seattle Pilots, just a few years before, and they were still building. High pop-up. Perez Now look out, and it is finally Aguilar who caught it. Well, you don't see that one every day, where the big lumbering first baseman takes charge versus the second baseman.
I think he's thinking the same thing.
1-0 Giants. No problem, buddy. Madison Bumgarner back to work with a 1-0 lead. Hernan Perez takes ball 1 up and away. He hit a ground ball hard to Crawford at short his first time, so he's 0 for 1. That was a very intriguing play, and Aguilar kind of saved the day, because I think that was the second baseman's ball, and usually if Aguilar was going to let Hernan Perez go for it, he would have let him go for it, but he went after it all the way, never gave up on it.
Well, and I think the shift set up that opportunity for Aguilar, but nevertheless, I mean, that was a tough play. He used every bit of that big old floppy first baseman glove.
It was kind of the reverse image of what you see on a ball along the line, where the second baseman got a better angle on it and usually will take charge and shoo away the first baseman. And it's like Aguilar had a better angle on it.
He had a better angle. You don't say that very often about a first baseman.
Perez, who's hit 7 home runs. He had 14 last year and 13 the year before as a role player. Longoria out number 1. That ball was hit sharply. Giants baseball is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And a kind of a foggy hashtag Carl the Fog.
Hashtag Carl the Fog. And yes, folks, the fog has a name.
At least here in San Francisco. Here is Pena. And a curve from Bumgarner for a strike. Pena popped up to second his first time. Up.
It's our favorite dog.
I love it when he's here. Or she.
The skateboarding Australian Shepherd.
And that is a foul out of play. 0-2 the count. So you know your dogs. You know what kind of dog that is?
Well, my daughter's got a mini Aussie, and I think it's an Aussie. Great dogs, but tough to tire them out. They are in the go mode 24/7.
On the outside corner, strike 3 call.
So the backdoor breaking ball, and Pena. I mean, he left the batter's box and he stared a long time out at Madison Bumgarner, as if to say, That ain't fair. See, they stretch the target wide, and Posey never moves the glove. And that's a 3-pitch see ya. Remember last start for Bumgarner, he walked 6. Ball strike ratio tonight, totally different.
This is into left field, a base hit for Arcia. The infield is hard. The ball is really shooting quickly along the infield here tonight.
Well, the players basically had to relearn AT Park infield because the Giants, when they went on the last road trip, there was the Rugby Sevens World Championship here. They covered this entire field up in grass. And when they had to rebuild the infield, I mean, it becomes a different infield. I really had to tip my cap to the grounds crew, and they were sensational putting this all back together, and there really haven't been that many complaints. But it is a different infield to learn, and it's quick.
0-1 to Chase Anderson.
So Greg Elliott and all your guys, job well done.
Anderson grounded out to short his first time, and it's 0-2.
Pretty good swing.
You're mentioning Greg Elliott, and Bruce Bochy talked about that before the game. What a great effort the grounds crew put in, trying to bring this field back to normal. 0-2. And he swung at it. Plate umpire Holbrook made the call himself. And that's all for the Brewers. Pablo Sandoval will be coming up. 1-0 Giants.
Day here tomorrow as the Giants get set to honor some of the forever Giants. 3 of the best, Matt Cain, Ryan Vogelsong, and Brian Wilson will be 2018 Wall of Fame inductees. Ceremony begins at 2 p.m. right here at AT Park on King Street, so stick around for the game afterwards, and you get to see all 3 of them throw out the ceremonial first pitch. If you can't make the ceremony, don't worry, you won't miss it if you can find it streaming live on sfgiants.com or facebook.com/NBCSauthentic or facebook.com/Giants. So lots of ways to see the ceremony tomorrow. Wall of Fame, it's going to be really fun. Gentlemen, let's get it up to you.
All right, and looking forward to that tomorrow.
3 great additions with Matt Cain, Ryan Vogelsong, and Brian Wilson. The only perfect game in Giants history. New York, San Francisco Giants. The only guy who ever had a perfecto, Matt Cain, and he'll be honored tomorrow.
This is the 136th years, or this is the 136th year of Giants baseball. And Cain is the only one out of all those many great pitchers who have pitched for the Giants, and some of the greatest pitchers of all time have pitched for the Giants.
Christy Mathewson.
And only one had a perfect game. Matt Cain. Pablo. And Yelich in a slide. One away. Pablo dug that out. But he couldn't make it fall in.
You know what we've been saying a lot when we describe the baseball that we're watching? Pitching duels. We've seen a lot of pitching duels. A lot of low-scoring games where pitchers are going at each other. They've got another one tonight.
Gorkis Hernandez hit a ball deep into right center, caught by Broxton.
He had one of the best at-bats tonight from any of the Giants hitters. In Milwaukee, I mean, it's a home run. Here with Triples Alley, it's a big league hang with him. But it's good to see him driving the ball to right center. That's his key. I mean, you can say that about a lot of hitters, but it's certainly true with Gorkis Hernandez.
Left his bat at 104 miles an hour. It was run down by Broxton. 2 balls and a strike.
And Gorkis he's been in a little bit of a slump. So when you have an at bat like that, I mean, even though you make it out, I mean, you do everything right and you hit the ball 100+ miles per hour. I mean, you know you're close. You know you've got your swing.
Back out of play. 2-2 the count.
And hitting streaks, they all start with one thing in common: good swings.
Gorkis is trying to, as you say, get it back together now. First half, he was one of the Giants' best hitters. And that changeup low and away. Full count. Bumgarner is on deck. 1 out, nobody on here in the 5th inning. The Giants leading 1-0. There's Bumgarner with the bat. That's hit well. Yelich looks up off the bricks, and Broxton is over to play the carom. A double for Gorkis. He hit it hard again.
Another opposite field bullet, and that one went off the bat 101 miles per hour. And this is, I mean, it's not across the plate. This ball's up, but it's out over the, I think it's off the plate away. You try and pull this thing, you roll it over. It's a ground ball to shortstop. Here, stays inside it, off the wall. And a nice play from Broxton, the center fielder for the Brewers, coming over, fielding that carom. It's what you have to do. If you play in the center field or in right field here, you've got to collapse the wall and back each other up.
Bumgarner struck out his first time. He's had 1 hit in 19 at bats this year. Strike 1 called. Giants have 4 hits against Anderson, and all of them have been doubles. The Brewers have 3 hits against Bumgarner. 2 of them doubles. Pickoff play, and that was close. Perez, the second baseman, covering.
Well, he's telling the Brewers bench, you better take a look at that one. It was very close.
The Brewers have asked for some time to consult with the video room.
Perfect throw from Anderson. No, he got back in. Hernan, seriously.
Bumgarner into right field. Gorkis is going to tag up, and he'll head over to third. So 2 down. The Giants have been running on Yelich. I said earlier Yelich had a strong arm, but that's just because he's in right field, I guess. But he really did not have a strong arm. He's definitely not the prototype guy to be playing right field.
Well, when Lorenzo Cain, their center fielder, is not playing, I mean, you're going to see Ron Wodos, who's the third base coach of the Giants. He's going to challenge these guys because they don't have great arms out there. Yelich below average. Cain has a great arm. He's got 10 assists on the year, but he's on the bench tonight, nursing a couple of small injuries. Everybody else, challenge.
So 2 down. Hernandez at third, and Steven Duggar trying to knock him in. He has struck out and grounded out to short.
Look out.
Nice save there by Pena may have saved a run.
I thought that was going to take out one shin at least, maybe two. I mean, that's going right at him. And all that proves is when they pick dodgeball teams, I want Duggar on my team.
Looks like a pretty good baseball player, but if you're choosing sides for dodgeball,
World class.
and there really is a very high incentive to dodging a baseball. I mean,
yeah, you have a 93-mile-an-hour cut fastball coming at your shin bone. I mean, that's motivation.
dodge it.
Couple Rawlings guys.
2-0 the count to Duggar.
Good changeup on the 2-0 count. Remember, he struck out Duggar in the first inning. A couple of changeup swing throughs. So here he had a 2-0 count, and what Anderson will do, I mean, he's not going to give in to a fastball count to a fastball. I mean, he's got excellent command of all of his stuff. That was a good changeup.
Two and two.
And just a subtle two-pitch sequence. A 2-0 changeup, freezes him, backs it up with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball right in on the hands, and very quickly evens the count. But it gives you an idea of the type of command that he has with his stuff. Good command.
The Giants have had one hit in 6 at-bats as a team, with runners in scoring position so far in this game. And managed to fight that one off. That riding high fastball back to the screen.
And again, I mean, he had a 2-2 count, so he had a count to be able to go to his location. Duggar, the 2-strike mode, trying to protect, and that thing just ate him up. All he could get off was a half swing, and he almost hit himself in the thumb.
Off the inside, and he did not chase this time.
Staying on that inside corner, and he didn't miss by much.
Hanson on deck. 2 down. Gorkis Hernandez at third. Now the catcher, Pena, out to the mound to talk to Chase Anderson.
Well, I mean, really now you can pick as to who you want to pitch to. It's 2 outs. You got 2 open bases here, and a 3-2 count. You don't have to give in. Stay in a corner. If you walk them, not a big deal. I mean, you got runner scoring position here. So in a 1-run ball game, the way Bumgarner is pitching, this becomes a big at bat. And Anderson does not have to challenge the fat part of the strike zone.
And a foul out of play.
And that was right down the throat. I'm not sure that's what Pena, the catcher, had in mind, but that was right down the throat. 2-seamer. Upon further review, that was up and in at the belt. So he did stay to a corner.
And the changeup for the strikeout. Still 1-0 Giants. Top of the order coming up with the Brewers.
We make it easy to access your favorite entertainment at home and on the go. Xfinity, the future of awesome. Mac Williamson heating up again. Last 9 games with Sacramento. Hit 12 for 36 with 3 homers, a couple of doubles, and 11 RBIs.
All right, Mac trying to blast his way back to the big leagues. Keon Broxton, the leadoff man for the Brewers, has struck out looking and then blooped a double. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 run, 4 hits for the Giants. The only run of the game knocked in the second inning. A double by Posey, followed by a Brandon Crawford double. No runs, 3 hits for the Brewers. Broxton has one of those. Yelich on deck, and then Aguilar due up third. Curveball is off the outside. 2-1 the count. Broxton's only had 52 at bats this year, 10 hits, a couple of home runs though. This is a tough play because he's got great speed and Pablo can't handle it. Backed up by Hansen. It'll be scored as a base hit for Broxton. An infield hit. NBC Bay Area investigates and gets results for you, changing 27 laws and policies while investigating more than $10 billion in public money. If you have a tip, contact NBC Bay Area at 1-888-996-TIPS or visit NBCBayArea.com/we-investigate. NBC Bay Area. We change laws, we change lives, we investigate. Keon Broxton with his speed getting aboard, and he can steal a base. He has 4 steals. Remember, he hadn't played that often. Yelich drilled a double to left center his first time, grounded out to second in the third. He jumps away from it. Also, as Bumgarner kicked and threw that pitch, the runner at first, Broxton, he was jumping back toward first base. Carlos Subero, the first base coach for the Brewers, whispered something to Broxton after that. And now it's 2-0. There's Subero over talking with him again. Yelich has 4 hits and 13 career at bats against Bumgarner, including 3 doubles. He's been showing off more power as a Brewer in more of a home run hitter ballpark than where he used to play in Miami. Now it's 3-0. You got the big slugger Aguilar on deck.
First 3-ball count of the night for Bumgarner. That's how good he's been with his command. But this becomes a big pitch.
And he missed with it. So his first walk.
Bumgarner wanted that 3-0 pitch. Watch the frame job from Posey as he tries to tuck that thing in just a wee bit outside. Yeah, there's no way, he said. Well, now you got your hands full with a big fella stepping in.
And Broxton started to go and then stopped, which might have been a distraction to Aguilar. And Posey then calling timeout to go out and talk to Bumgarner about it.
Well, I think he senses a bit of frustration when he didn't get that 3-0 pitch, and when that happens, you're mad, you're angry, and when that happens, you fail to pay attention to some of the little things, and little things like holding runners on, giving that runner at second base a second look before you start home, or a third look. So Posey coming out there, just a subtle reminder to his friend. Let that 3-0 pitch go. Concentrate on the one you might throw. Control that running game. Give me a chance to throw him out.
Strike 2 to Aguilar. Curveball that ran right out of the strike zone. Aguilar has grounded out to third. Longoria made a nice play to get him, and he's flied out to the warning track in right field. 2 men on, nobody out. You see how the Giants are playing him. Hansen over near the bag at second, trying to keep Broxton close.
Tried to backdoor with that breaking ball. And the last thing you say when you throw that pitch is, if I miss this, I'm going to miss down below the zone. I'm not going to leave it out over the plate. One thing Aguilar is showing the Giants in this series, that he could hit that pitch down and away.
Two fast runners aboard. Broxton at second, Yelich at first. Nobody out. 2-2.
Now they got a second strike down and in. These last two pitches have been away. So in Posey's mind, inside is set up.
So Aguilar with 25 home runs, now second in the league in home runs to Nolan Arenado of the Rockies, who hit one tonight against Oakland. Hit very softly. Crawford throws him out. Aguilar not a fast runner, but he moves those runners up a base. Broxton to third and Yelich to second with one out.
Be interesting to see how Bruce Bochy plays this. Remember Ryan Braun in his last at bat, he hit a bullet. In fact, in 2 at bats, he's hit the ball hard twice, and he's got an open base. You don't see him often put 4 fingers up and intentionally walk a hitter with Bumgarner on the mound, because he has faith that Bumgarner can strike him out and use an open base to throw locations that are preferable to a pitcher. But clearly, Bumgarner does not have to give Braun much to hit here. If he walks him, not a big deal. Sets up a force.
Well, that'll get the run home. Alan Hansen throws out Braun. First ball swinging, and he knocks in the run. 1-1. Yelich over to third.
I mean, that's a veteran's at bat right there. Middle infield sagged and trying to stay out of the big inning. Hit a ground ball back up the middle past the pitcher, you're going to get the RBI, and that's what he did. 37th RBI of the year for Braun.
And this the run, that was an infield hit by Broxton, and a walk to Yelich, and a couple of ground outs hit very softly. And Saladino takes ball 1.
See the pitch count for Bumgarner. He's had it his way most of the night. You want 15 or less, and he has not hit the 15 pitch level until this inning.
One and one. Saladino has grounded out to second and struck out. Well, the Brewers have made a run out of almost nothing in this inning. Now a base hit could net them another run. 1-1, 6th inning. Runner at third. And he lays off that one. Started to go and then held up. 2-1. Saladino, former 7th round draft choice of the Chicago White Sox. At the knees. Strike 2 call.
Coming by way of the backside of the plate, wrap around that outside corner. Now you can throw that same pitch and you can lower just a little bit. You can go above the hands with a cut fastball. Lots of options here.
Left center. And caught by Gorkis Hernandez. He might have been fighting the lights a little bit on that one, too. Brewers have tied the game. Hansen, McCutchen, and Posey coming up.
Clips. Great Clips want you to love your haircut. That's why they created Clip Notes. Notes that tell them what you like, so you get your same great haircut every time. Anywhere, great Clips. It's going to be great.
AT Park, home of the Giants. Giants and Brewers in a 1-1 tie. Last of the 6th inning. Alan Hansen leads off. Shows bunt. Takes. Strike one called against Chase Anderson. Each team with a run on 4 hits. Giants scored in the 2nd. Posey and Crawford hit 2 doubles in a row. Now a change up in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Brewers got a run, an infield hit, a walk, and a couple of ground outs to get a run home in the first half of this inning. They had their own ground attack going. Hansen has popped up to first and hit a pop fly double right along the left field line. Giants have only had 1 hit in 7 at bats with runners in scoring position. They've had chances to score more than they have. Up and away. 2-1. Arizona leads San Diego 6-1. Last of the 6th down in San Diego on the out-of-town scoreboard is Hansen swinging and fouling a fastball. It's 2-2. Colorado is leading Oakland 3-1 in the top of the 9th in Denver. The Dodgers won in Atlanta. Back of Clayton Kershaw. Right back to Anderson. 1 away. Andrew McCutchen will come up.
Hate to lose that opportunity when you lead off an inning with a guy who's got speed. You'd love to get him on the base, especially in a tie game. Anderson knew that. It's a big out for him.
Giants have gotten the leadoff man on base only 1 time in these first 6 innings. That was the 2nd inning when Posey hit a double. And Crawford followed with a double to knock him in. Soaring pop-up way up there. Perez. 2 down.
Well, you can see the look on his face. That's the look of relief that I just caught a pop-up in Northern California. Not an easy thing to do. Not on a swirling windy night.
So here's Buster, who has doubled into the right field corner and flied out to right center. Facing Anderson.
Saw his pitch count. He, like Madison Bumgarner, been very economical with the pitch count tonight. I mean, both pitchers really have mixed their speeds well. And when they've pitched with the fastball, it's been to a corner.
Buster Posey hitting .284 for the year. Right along the third base line. And Saladino throws him out. And the Giants are gone very quietly. A 9-pitch inning for Anderson. On we go to the 7th, tied at 1. I'll bring you a fresh take on the game and the season on Giants Outsiders on NBC Sports Bay Area. After postgame live on every 7 p.m. night game broadcast on NBC Sports Bay Area. San Francisco Oakland Bay Bridge putting on a show nightly. So we view it here from AT Park. We're heading into the late innings now. 7th inning at AT Park, where the Giants and Brewers in a 1-1 tie. Hernan Perez will lead off against Bumgarner. Then Pena, then Arcia. The pitcher will be due up 4th in the inning, and the Brewers, for the first time, have action in the bullpen. The first pitch, fastball for a called strike to Perez, who's grounded out twice. That is Joaquim Soria, veteran right-hander. That's a base hit to right field.
It's the first day that Soria has ever put on a Brewers uniform. The newest Brewer.
Right from the White Sox yesterday for Cody Medeiros and Wilber Perez. He's a veteran. For many years he was a closer in the American League. Five hits now for the Brewers. Here is Pena. Pena is 0 for 2. Shows bunt, takes high.
Well, that's kind of the game, type of game that it is, where Craig Counsell willing to give up an out possibly by way of the bunt to move a runner up. Pena's got power. I mean, don't normally see guys who can hit the ball in the ballpark asked to bunt late in the ball game. Tied. Here we are in the 7th.
Craig Counsell with bench coach Pat Murphy there on the left. 1 ball, no strikes. Show his bunt. And Bumgarner backhands it to Hansen covering. He flipped it backhanded and he threw him a changeup.
Well, the way that he was going over, normally you see a third left-handed pitcher come over the first baseline in a bunt, and he'll get in position to kind of 360. But when he didn't do that, I'm thinking, how's he going to get this done? And then in the end, he just picks it up and has a little flip. But that is not an easy play. They do get the out, but I'm sure that there were a few guys in that Giants dugout that had their heart rate pick up its pace. Bruce Bochy being one of them.
Yeah, maybe some broadcasters. Here's Arcia, who has grounded out and singled. And a foul out of play. The pitcher's spot is due up next. And the Brewers have sent Eric Thames out into the on-deck circle. Powerful left-handed hitter. 1-1 in the 7th with a runner in scoring position here. 1-1. Brewers are 0 for 6 as a team with runners in scoring position in this game. They got a run home with an infield out. Out of play. Upper deck off to the right. Arcia hitting only 195 for the year, including his hit tonight. Last year, this native of Venezuela really burst upon the scene, hit 277 and had 15 homers, played an excellent shortstop, stole 14 bases. And the curveball, he just got a piece of it to stay alive. A ball and 2 strikes. Perez, who runs pretty well, the runner at second. Wow, that ball was way outside, but he went after it.
Hey, he's in the swing mode. You see a guy do that, you're pitching to him, you simply say to yourself, I am not going to throw him a strike. I mean, that doesn't really do that justice. I mean, that thing was below the knees, but it was about a foot off the plate. I mean, that's way off the plate. Maybe more than a foot. This thing should be in the dirt.
There goes the runner. And it was in the dirt, and he did not swing at it. First base umpire Blakeney on the appeal said no swing. So a steal of third by Perez.
It's a pretty impressive read too from Perez. I mean, he was thinking the same thing. This ball's going to go in the dirt. I have an opportunity.
I'm wondering if Bumgarner thought that he swung at that pitch.
He did. He was looking at both third base and first base umpires and asking for some help.
Infield is in. Now Longoria wanted to go home, but he did not get a good grip on the ball, and scoring is Perez. And the Brewers have basically gotten another run out of almost nothing. A bunt and then a steal and then a ground ball. And that is how they go into the lead.
Just wasn't enough there to take the chance. I mean, you've got to get it out there. Little bit of time to get the exchange, and then he didn't get a good feel for the angle he had to the plate. And the Brewers catch a break.
Brewers lead 2-1. They've manufactured a couple of runs with infield outs. 0-1 the count to Eric Thames, the pinch hitter. Dangerous, lots of power. So a single, then a bunt, and then the steal. The opportunistic steal. The Brewers, who've stolen more bases than any other team in the league. And that becomes a very big play in this game. Back goes McCutchen. Thames is retired. But now Soria in for the bullpen. Crawford, Longoria, Sandoval coming up. The Giants are trailing by a run. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Giants home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV game of the day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today. AT Park, 7th-inning stretch time, and now the Giants, for the first time all evening, are trailing. It is 2-1 Milwaukee. And the Brewers have manufactured runs in consecutive innings, and they haven't done a whole lot against Bumgarner, but they've hit the ground ball. They got a big steal in the 7th here to set up the ground ball to knock in a run. 2 innings in a row, ground balls have knocked in a Brewer run. Brandon Crawford against Joakim Soria, the new pitcher for Milwaukee, just acquired And this is his Brewers debut. 0-1 to Crawford. And that's off the inside. Crawford has knocked in the Giants' only run with a double in the right center back in the second inning. He fouled out his last time. He's 1 for 2. And that fastball in there for a strike.
You'll see low to mid-90s with the fastball. He's got a curveball, slider, changeup combination. He warmed up. He didn't throw the curve. It was sliders and changeups. And I think he likes to change more, especially against left-handed hitters. But sorry, I mean, he's been around a long time. This is his 12th year in the big league level, and he's still just 34 years of age. So he's been around. Came up with Kansas City, then he went to Texas, Detroit, Pittsburgh, then back to Kansas City. And that tells you a lot about a guy when a team will reacquire him. Good guy.
Change up. Perez rushes in and got him by a step. One away. Soria, 34 years old. He had actually been traded to the Dodgers and went to spring training with the Dodgers. And that was in fact, it was part of a 3-team trade. The Dodgers got Soria and the left-handed pitcher Scott Alexander in that deal. Longoria late on a fastball. Longoria, as an American leaguer, saw Soria several times. He's had 4 hits in 9 career at-bats against him. Longoria 0 for 2 in this game. And quickly it's 0-2. Soria, who is from Mexico. Pablo Sandoval on deck. Wow, he dropped down from the side with that curveball, 76 miles an hour.
Yeah, flatten it out. And the lower you go, if you throw from a 3/4 angle, if you lower your arm down to the sidearm, your curveball is going to flatten out. I mean, that's creativity.
He had been the White Sox closer this year. In the dirt.
It's great you mentioned that Soria is from Mexico, and he played winter ball, and you see the teams that come out of Mexico, the native players, the Mexican-born players who are pitchers, they throw everything, and they throw them from a lot of different angles.
And that's off the outside.
And because of that, I mean, hitters who come out of Mexico, the native-born Mexican players, they're great breaking ball hitters. They see a lot of it. I mean, from the early ages on, even when you watch the Little League World Series, if you see the teams from Monterrey, Mexico, these kids are throwing breaking balls. They got a bunch of them.
2-2 the count. 3 infielders to the left of second. In the dirt. 3-2. I mentioned that Soria had been traded to the Dodgers in the 3-team deal, and then the Dodgers traded him to the White Sox as part of that same trade. 5 players involved altogether. Back to the screen. He hit the emergency swing there going.
Well, he puts you to sleep with a lot of dookie stuff, you know, sidearm slurves, because they break the ball, change ups, and then all of a sudden he zips you 3-2 with 94 in an absolute perfect knee-high outside corner location. That's a great save from Longoria, just to stay alive.
And the crowd starts to come alive here at AT&T Park. The Giants, for the first time, are trailing 2-1 Milwaukee. Off the foot.
Comes back with 93-mile-an-hour sink on the inside corner. I mean, he has thrown 7 pitches in this at bat. I don't think he's thrown the same thing twice. 8 pitches in this at bat.
He was the White Sox closer, 16 saves, and had a 0.74 earned run average his last 25 games. But he walks Longoria, and Longoria worked hard to get that walk.
It's great at bat. Well, one thing about Soria, I mean, most of what he throws is going to wind up knee high or below, and you got the right guy up there to try and take advantage of that. Sandoval, a good low ball hitter. And I mean a low ball hitter.
Pablo 0 for 2 in the game. Fastball for a strike.
Brewers, like every other team in the big leagues, know that about Sandoval.
So Longoria, the possible tying run at first base. 1 out. Well, he went down. That ball had some sinking action, almost like a splitter. And Pablo just did get a piece of it. Strike 2.
Change up, just bottoming out. I'd say, what, about 10 inches off the ground. He just caught a piece of the top of it. They want to go high fastball here.
Pablo back into the upper deck. Colorado beat the Athletics in Denver 3-1. That game is over. The Athletics 6-game winning streak ended. Well, he went up on that one. Pablo fouled it straight back. So the Brewers, like a lot of contenders, trying to fortify their bullpens for the stretch run. Cubs tried to fortify their rotation, acquiring Cole Hamels from Texas. 1-2 now to Pablo. The Arizona Diamondbacks picked up a pretty good hitter from the Minnesota Twins today, Eduardo Escobar, who had 15 homers and 63 RBIs, 37 doubles to lead Major League Baseball in that category. Jake Lamb was placed on the disabled list with a shoulder problem, and Escobar is a third baseman. That one to second. They get one, and a double play. We move to the 8th inning. Top of the order coming up for the Brewers. 2-1.
Park, it's time for our Ask Amy G segment. Tonight's question comes from Lauren, and it is for Johnny Cueto. She says, so many of Johnny Cueto's Instagram pictures are of food. Does he like to cook? If so, what does he cook? All right, Lauren, I got you an answer. You said regarding liking to cook, not so much, Lauren, but he does like to eat, and he told me the pictures are often meals that his family has prepared. He did say he can cook oatmeal, and his mom is teaching him how to make Dominican rice. If you have a question for a player or a coach, tweet it to me at AmyGGiants, hashtag AskAmyG. John and Mike.
All right, Amy, thank you. There's a swing and a high pop-up by Broxton. Second baseman, Hansen. And there's one away.
Well, it's time to see what's happening in the Giants bullpen with Nest Cam IQ, the sharper indoor security camera. With its built-in Google Assistant, you can ask it questions like, hey Google, who's number 49 warming up in the Giants bullpen? Well, that would be Sam Dyson. Get yours at nest.com.
Ask Google, and Mike Krukow will answer.
Telling you, that's going to happen. You'll be able to put your favorite broadcaster in. It'll be the voice.
And he'll do it just the way he did that one. That's a base hit, right center field into the gap. He's going to go for two. He's got excellent speed. McCutchen did cut it off and saved it from being a triple. Second double of the game for Yelich.
That's a good play by McCutchen. I mean, if that ball very easily could have gotten by him. If that's the case, it's an easy three-bagger, maybe more with the speed of Yelich. Waits well on the breaking ball. Just a beautiful swing. I watch that thing all day long. For a tall guy, it's as good as it gets.
That ball hit very hard by Yelich. And 108 miles an hour off the bat. So here is Aguilar. Bumgarner has held him in check. A ground ball to third, a fly ball to right field, and a ground ball to short. Although the ground ball to short set up the Brewers' first run. He hit it very poorly. So the runners at first and second advanced, and that set up the run on another ground ball.
Ball got loose out of the bullpen for the Brewers.
The Brewers with action going. That is Jeremy Jeffress, the right-handed setup man. He's had an excellent year. Well, he swung at that one. The curveball ended up swinging at nothing. That ball just disappeared. 0-2.
So Aguilar takes a long walk out of the batter's box, having a word with himself. And he can do it in 2 languages too.
Aguilar from Venezuela. Fastball just a bit off the inside.
The conversations that hitters have with themselves, very, very entertaining.
And he struck him out.
Well, he was pitching for the strikeout, and he gets it. Say one thing about Madison Bumgarner: the big man will compete. Their biggest RBI guy, he just sends packing. Good breaking ball, late, perfect location, and he gets Aguilar to chase.
So here is Braun. 0-1.
Good curveball. Talked about how the league has not been able to do a whole lot with the curveball from Bumgarner this year. Hitting under 100 collectively against it, and that was another good one.
Braun is lined out to second, lined out to third, and hit a ground ball to second that knocked in a run. Out of play. 0-2. Runner in scoring position, a fast runner at that, Christian Yelich. The Brewers with a 2-1 lead. Bumgarner due to bat second in the Giants half of the 8th inning. for Keith Hernandez, and then the pitcher spot. That is a base hit. Well, he went after that curveball, and he got the hit to knock in a run. The first time the Brewers have knocked in a run with an actual hit, and now it's 3-1. And Braun's had 2 of the RBIs.
Oh, that was not a hanger either. It's just a nice job from Braun to take a pitch down below the zone and go the opposite way with it in an RBI situation. I mean, that's a perfect pitch if you're Bumgarner. That is a great at bat.
Saladino, who is 0 for 3, bounces a foul.
I mean, those are the type of at bats right there. They're subtle reminders that you're in the big leagues. Even for a guy like Bumgarner, who pitched him beautifully, you get beat on a pitch like that. You hate to do it, but you got to tip your cap.
That ball, if he had not swung at it, might have ended up bouncing into Buster Posey's glove. So Ryan Braun, and he's hit the ball hard every time he's been up there tonight. Half swing foul, 0-2. So Yelich with the 1-out double, and with 2 down and 2 strikes, Ryan Braun with an excellent bit of hitting to knock him in. He's at first. 0-2 the count to Saladino. And Braun back to the bag. Braun, you think of him as a home run hitter, but he runs pretty well, and he picks his spots. He has 7 steals this year. Sandoval on the bag with him. A long run for Duggar. The Brewers add a big run. Now Jeffress in for the bullpen. Hernandez, then the pitcher spot coming up. For game 3 of this series. Johnny Cueto for the Giants versus Jhoulys Chacín of the Brewers. We'll be back with you here on NBC Bay Area and the Giants television network. Monday night, August the 13th. That's a little over 2 weeks from now. August the 13th, a Monday at 7 for the Giants and the Dodgers from Dodger Stadium. I'm John Miller with Mike Krukow, Giants baseball from AT Park. And for the Giants, the offense has been held to just a run and 4 hits. And now the Brewers setup man, Jeremy Jeffress, comes in. And Mike, his numbers are kind of lights out.
Well, 53 strikeouts against 15 walks in 48 innings and allowing just 32 hits. That tells you he's got great stuff. And the ERA will back it up. He's got 3 saves on the year. You're going to see mid to high 90s with a fastball. He's got a good curveball changeup combination. He can strike you out with all of them. Other than that, he's pretty average.
Yes, that's what I thought. Pretty average, except for when he throws a pitch. 0-2.
Well, and there's that curveball we're talking about. Good location with it. What's good about the curveball is not just the break, but the speed. It's another off-speed pitch off that fastball that's high 90s.
Austin Slater's out on deck. Well, he just got a piece of that one.
That was a hanger. Madison Bumgarner, his night is over with. I mean, he pitched beautifully. It's hard to think that he's walking out of here and he's behind 2 runs. His offense needs to pick him up right now. See the numbers for the 2 starters tonight. Anderson with 4 hits allowed in 6 innings. No walks, 1 run allowed. Bumgarner, a solid 8 innings with 7 hits allowed, 3 runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts.
Count goes to 2-2 to Gorkis, who had a couple of excellent at-bats against the starting pitcher. Chase Anderson hit a deep fly ball to right center for an out and hit a double his next time up. He's 1 for 2. Fastball fouls it out of play. That was 96 miles an hour.
Good swing.
Fights that one off. Man, that had a lot of movement on it, didn't it?
That was 96 mile an hour 2-seam movement that just bore in on the hands. It wasn't a sink, but as it 2-seamer gets up belt high and above, it flattens out, but it just ate him up. He did well to just get a piece of it to stay alive.
And he struck him out. So Slater, the pinch hitter for Bumgarner. Well, you have to give the Brewers credit facing an outstanding pitcher. And they manufactured 2 runs against him out of almost nothing. You know, wasn't a guy hitting one off the wall and somebody smashing one into the corner or whatever. They got an infield hit, a walk, and a couple of ground outs. That was their first run. And even the hit in that inning was just a ground ball. Slater quickly behind in the count, 0-2. The other run was a single, a sacrifice bunt, a steal, and a ground ball. And that was the other run.
That's the game of baseball. They did the little things right, and has been the difference in this game.
Still 0-2. High riding fastball there. The Giants have 4 hits in this game, all doubles. But it's that hit after the double that's been missing. They've had only 1 hit in 7 chances with a runner in scoring position. And they've only gotten their leadoff man on base in 1 inning. That was the inning in which they scored. The second inning. Oh. Puts him away. A ball that ran well in off the inside corner.
Just changed the grip, and you put 97 miles per hour velocity behind 2 seams. You start on an inside corner. Watch this thing take off as it just bores right in on the hands, and Slater swings over the top. That's nasty.
So 2 batters faced, 2 strikeouts for Jeffress, and here is Steven Duggar. He struck out a couple of times in this game and was grounded out. He's 0 for 3. He has been striking out an awful lot 19 strikeouts and 52 at bats. Ball one.
Oh yeah. Snuggle up time. It's a little cool. We've been waiting all night to do that. Patience paid off.
Right up the middle. Base hit, center field. And that makes Alan Hansen the possible tying run. Hansen has one hit, a double, a pop-up along the left field line. That fell in.
You know it's talked about in that Giants dugout as well as Bumgarner pitched tonight. You know, they want to get him some runs. I mean, he has a chance to walk out here with a win if they can put together an attack right now. It's going to have to come with a little two-out thunder, which they've been very good at these since the All-Star break. I mean, they've done well against great relievers in this period of the game.
Well, it did fairly well against Jeffress last night. And Will Smith down to the Giants bullpen to join Sam Dyson. Smith the closer. Giants got a run against Jeffress, and he was not able to finish the 8th inning. 1-1 the count. Jeffress had a hit and 2 walks allowed in the 8th inning last night. Got 2 outs. Charged with a run. Alan Hansen, who has shown some serious power as a left-handed hitter, he's got 6 home runs. Staying with that curveball. 1-2.
Well, John, there you go. You and that guy, you got ties on.
See, he probably thought he was working with you tonight.
Well, I think he did.
Oh, Miller's here. Oh, nobody told me about that. That's a base hit. So now the possible tying runs are on base. And Andrew McCutchen comes up.
Hansen finally got a fastball to do something with. Spinned on 94. I mean, that's a pitch right there you're going to get questioned about by your manager or your pitching coach if the Giants can make it hurt. Threw all those breaking balls to Hansen, didn't really do a whole lot of them, and then you get beat on a fastball.
Now the catcher Pena out to talk to Jeffress as the veteran McCutchen comes up, and he is the possible go-ahead run here. McCutchen, the former Pirate.
You have great speed on the base paths right now with Duggar at second, Hansen at first. 2 outs. They're going to get a good jump. Any ball that's hit, they're going to have a good head start.
Giants' 2 fastest runners. McCutchen has grounded to first, grounded to second, and popped up to second. All of that was against the starting pitcher, Chase Anderson. He's had 3 hits and 11 at-bats lifetime against Jeffress. High fastball, ball 1. There are his career numbers, 3 singles, and he's also walked 3 times against him. Posey on deck. Giants did some damage to the earned run averages of Jeffress and Knebel, the Brewers' top 2 relievers last night here. Look out. Almost got him.
Just missed him. That 2-seamer inside the righties have been a good pitch for him. Not this time.
Two down. Duggar hit a single to center. Hansen a single to right. 2 men on, 2 men out. 2-0 the count. And that's low. Good eye there by McCutcheon.
And with his power, he's got the green light. I mean, if he looks for a pitch, looks for a zone, and he gets it, he'll let it go. He's looking for a mistake, middle in, just above the knee.
Way inside. The bases are loaded for Buster Posey. That moves the possible tying run into scoring position. And the pitching coach, Derek Johnson, will go to the mound to speak to Jeffress.
There's nobody in the bullpen for the Brewers. It's Jeffress against the world right now. And all Derek Johnson is going to do is go out there and just give him a little bit of a breather. This started out to be a pretty quick inning. 2 strikeouts from Hernandez, Austin Slater, and now with 2 outs, base hit, walk.
So the bases are loaded with Duggar at third, Hansen at second. He's the possible tying run. McCutcheon at first, the possible go-ahead run. Duggar and Hansen are the Giants' 2 fastest runners, and Andrew McCutcheon is pretty fast as well. And now the Brewers will get the bullpen going. It is the right-hander
Taylor Williams
who goes down. And a foul. 1-1.
Posey was sitting on that fastball looking middle in.
So base hit to the outfield could tie the game here. With 2 down, those runners will be taken off on contact. Posey tonight has doubled into the right field corner and scored a run. Flied out and grounded out. 1 for 3.
2-seamer at 95, and Posey swings over the top of it. And that pitch just impressed Buster Posey.
Buster hitting .328 this year with runners in scoring position. Too low.
Just staying with hard 2-seamers on that inside corner. They set that target way inside off the plate.
In the lower deck, almost everybody is standing here at AT Park. Duggar at third, Hansen at second, McCutcheon at first, ready to run. He laid off.
That was not an easy take.
That was the 26th pitch thrown in this inning by Jeffress, who also threw 26 pitches in his abbreviated 8th inning here last night. Very softly to third. And the inning is over. Saladino got it done. So it all started after 2 were down. Still 3-1 Milwaukee on to the 9th. 40,414 the paid crowd here at AT Park. And in the ninth, the Giants have gone to their bullpen. Madison Bumgarner, after 8 innings, gives way to Sam Dyson on in relief.
Numbers for Dyson, 51st time that he has come in. 2-2 on the year with a 2.90 ERA. Solid body of work. Throwing the ball very well. Had a little bump in the road with his mechanics a while back, but he has ironed him out. You can always tell when he's got his good mechanics. I mean, he pounds that strike zone with mid-90s sink, curveball, slider, and a changeup.
Hernan Perez leads off against Dyson. Perez hit a single to right that started the 7th inning, and eventually, after a steal of third, scored the go-ahead run on a ground ball to third. He takes ball 1. There is Corey Knebel, the Brewers closer, getting ready for the last of the 9th. One ball, 1 strike. Pena and Arcia will follow for the Brewers. Madison Bumgarner, 8 innings, 3 runs, 7 hits allowed, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. And even then, the 3 runs, you need to read a little bit between the lines on those. And that is out number 1. And Mike, I think you pointed it out, which was a great insight, because he got the single to lead off the 7th, and then Pena bunted him over. And then Arcia was up with 2 strikes. And you pointed out at the time that it was the runner Perez sort of deduced that it was going to be a curveball and probably in the dirt. And that's exactly what it was, and he stole third on it.
Anticipation. Saw that ball going down the dirt, going to take a hop, had a good jump.
Hansen back to his feet. Well done. Taking one away from Pena. That ball, you can see how quick this infield is tonight.
He got a grass cutter, and again, the quickness of this infield, that this Giants team is not used to seeing this infield so fast. Hansen's got very good range both ways, left and right, and he didn't have a lot of time to get to that ball.
The ball off the bat of Pena at 105 miles an hour.
That'll make any infield fast.
Here's Arcia, who is 1 for 3. But after that steal of third in the 7th, I think it was a 1-1 game. Then Arcia hits the ground ball to third, and Longoria wanted to go home with it, but he had a little bit of difficulty getting the grip and getting the ball out of the glove. And by the time he cocked the arm to make the throw, he thought, well, it's not a sure thing. I better get the out at first. Hansen gets this one. Inning over. 3 ground ball outs. The Giants need 2 runs to stay alive. Crawford, Longoria, Sandoval, Knebel will be coming in. of the ninth inning. And the Brewers closer, Corey Knebel, comes in. Knebel, who pitched the ninth inning here last, in fact, came on and got the final out of the eighth inning. And then gave up a couple of runs in the ninth inning before finally wrapping it up. He threw 25 pitches in that game. And also had to get up after pitching in the eighth inning, going into the dugout. And so again, kind of a long night of it. We'll see if there's any residual effect of that. Giants taxed him in the ninth inning last night as well.
Well, they did. He's a two-pitch pitcher, mid to high 90s with a fastball and a curveball. 2 looks, 2 good looks.
Brandon Crawford, ball 1. Travis Shaw goes in to play third base for the Brewers, with Knebel coming in to pitch. That's a called strike at 97 miles an hour. There's Shaw now at third. But they're saying that it's not a double switch. Which I guess it won't be that big a deal if the Brewers end up winning the game, but it does beg the question, if it's not a double switch, well, why isn't it?
He's only going to pitch 1 inning. I mean, it's a pitcher spot due to lead off. If the Giants can get this game to the 10th inning, which is why you'd think, well, it should have been a double shift with Shaw hitting in that 9th spot. But first of all, the Giants got to score some runs
To make it an issue.
To make it an issue.
To make Craig Counsell answer a tough question.
That's right. So there's your goal.
Two and 2 to Crawford, who has 1 hit, has not going to run with it. And that's off the outside, ball 3. Longoria is on deck. Giants need to put a man on base to send the possible tying run to the plate. Right to Shaw, the man just in. 1 away. Crawford is 1 for 4. Here's Longoria. Sandoval on deck. Giants placed Brandon Belt on the disabled list yesterday, 10-day DL, with the bone bruise on his right knee. Longoria, who had 2 hits in his first game back from the disabled list last night, is 0 for 2 with a walk in this game. Strike 1. Dodgers won their game. Giants began the evening 5.5 out of first in the National League West. Dodgers won in Atlanta. Arizona is leading in San Diego 6-2 in the last of the 9th inning. Strike 2. And Colorado beat the red hot Oakland Athletics. Cooled them off 3-1. Colorado. Freeland, 6 shutout innings at Coors Field tonight. Arenado hit a home run. 0-2 the count to Longoria.
I want the high fastball.
A little too high.
It's not that easy pitch to throw. I mean, it's easy to hang it. You can hang a high fastball, leave it at the top of the strike zone. See Hunter Pitts getting ready. He'd love to hit in this game.
Struck him out. 98 miles an hour, up and in. Giants are down to their final out, which they were last night for a while, and it took quite some time for Knebel to get it. 2 down, nobody on. Sandoval is 0 for 3 in the game. Man, he went after that high hard one.
Staying upstairs with Sandoval.
Strike two. A little bit of an earlier start tomorrow, 6:05 here at AT Park. Johnny Cueto on the mound for the Giants. One and two.
Reach back velocity at 97 of the 2-strike count.
Gorkis Hernandez on deck. Along the left field line, foul. 58 degrees at game time tonight with the marine layer. This is a kind of a cool, windy night here at the ballpark. There you see the marine layer being reflected off the lights. Hashtag Carl the Fog. Drives it to center, but right to Broxton. That's one of the better hit balls of the night for the Giants. And the Brewers make it 2 in a row. The Brewers 3, the Giants 1, and really an impressive display with the Brewers, whose offense is a very powerful group, and they got basically shut down by Bumgarner and scored 2 runs that they got almost nothing against him.
But they did the little things right. They got the bunt down. They got the man over. They got the man in. And it's a bitter loss for the Giants, especially when Bumgarner threw as well as he did. They walk out of here with a loss. Tough one.
For the Giants, the bottom line ultimately, the offense. There was just nothing there. The 1 run, and that's it. 3-1 Milwaukee. We'll have more from AT&T Park.